So there are sequence of jobs that runs, and the first one is stop, rating, and disable rel. So while you're doing any intensive activities in BRM, uh, while doing any extensive task in BRM, we should always stop rating and rel, because these are extensive tasks, and this might create issues or blocking sessions while loading. The second one is to generate the XML control file, because that XML control file is used as a filter for fetching the list of accounts that needs to be updated or that needs to be built. Then open billing, then bill check. Bill check is nothing but after open billing you check the list of accounts and see if those have actually got the entitlements or not, because if the accounts have not got the entitlement for that particular cycle, any usage will be charged with amount. So supposedly your bill cycle was first, and on first of the month your open billing ran, and it gave you 300 minutes, but for me it somehow failed and did not give me that 300 minutes. So as soon as on first, as I will start making a call, okay, the very first call will be charged with a money, because technically the first 300 minutes should have been free, but now since I have not got the entitlement, my very first call will be charged. So this is the bill check job that ensures that the calls are rated only when all the entitlements are granted, and if the entitlements are not granted, the calls are not rated, so that we ensure the rating integrity. And the last one is, once your bill check and everything is complete and your billing has successfully been done, then you can enable the rating and rel, so that you can start processing your usage data. So now we will so this used to be a presentation, but now it's converted into PDF, so that's why it comes with a strike through, but there's one row which is open. So this is how the VF delay billing table looks like, and this has got columns like close last run, open last run, open DOM, close DOM, billing segment, and open bill segment. Okay, so as soon as your close billing will run, open billing will run, this particular data will be populated. As soon as your close bill run, this data will be populated. So wherever this data is empty, it will pick up that particular row and run that particular cycle. So supposedly if this is 0, then technically the next run that will happen is the close billing for C04. So what are the functionalities that are catered by open billing? The functionalities that are catered by open billing are cycle forward charges, cycle arrear charges. So what are cycle forward charges? So in telco, we've got couple of variety of item on a broader level. So on ground level there will be n number of different type of items, but from a top branching perspective, if you see, there are two types of item. One is cycle forward. That means on the day when these items are purchased or these products are purchased, on the same day there will be a charge applied for that particular product. So supposedly it is like a prepaid thing. So if you want to buy a plan, you give $40 or 40 rupees cash, and then you purchase that plan, and then for the entire month you don't have to pay anything. So you pay upfront for that particular charge. There are cycle areas, which is kind of a post pay, which is like you use for the entire, you purchase the product, you use for entire month, and towards the end of the cycle there will be a charge applied. Okay, so generally your most of the plans are cycle forward. Okay, so all your cycle forward plans, they will have a charge applied once your open billing is done. So as soon as you get your entitlement, that means you have repurchased that product. At the same time, there will be a charge applied. So suppose you were on a 40 rupees plan. The next month, on the day when you have your billing, you will get all the entitlements, again new entitlements, and you will be charged 40 rupees on the day one of your cycle. On the other hand, there are other plans which are cycle arrear. It's like on the first day of the month, you will get 400 minutes entitlement, but that 40 rupees will be charged towards the end of the month. Now, why do we configure these two different kind of product? We could have configured one kind of product. So what we do, wherever there is a proration means supposedly you use the product for only 20 days, then you have to pay for only 20 days. And there are non-prorated, that means you purchase the product today, you cancel it tomorrow, then also you have to pay entire product price. So those are non-prorated. Prorated are those which you use for 20 days, 10 days or 5 days. Whatever days you use, you will have to pay only that particular charge. So all the cycle forward products are non-prorated. So that means the products which we as a telco operator, we have told our customer that these products are non-prorated. Those products, will be cycle forward. That means on the first day of the month, the entire charge will be applied. No matter whenever you want to cancel it, you want to cancel it on the next day or end of the cycle, wherever you want to cancel, but the company will take the entire money from you. On the other hand, the cycle arrear products are prorated products. So supposedly you purchase it on 15th day of the month and your billing cycle was 30th. So at the end of the month, I will only apply the charges for 15 days. Okay. And open bundles for next cycle. Open bundle is nothing but you give freebies. So supposedly, on one of the month you said that for every customer that has opted for a $40 plan, I will give 2 gigs extra. So what you do, you just get that customer to purchase a open bundle plan, and wherever there is a cycle forward or a cycle area charge applied for that particular amount, that product will automatically be purchased. So that these kind of products are known as open bundles. So next one is a technical explanation of that one, so we'll just ignore that. So this is how billing happens. This is a good demonstration of how billing happens. So this counter, this is the green one that you see here is the open bill which is for this particular month. So let's understand this carefully, that the green bill that you see here is supposedly the bill for June. Okay, and you had a SMS counter of -48. So whatever is the entitlement that you have got, company will always treat that as a negative. So supposedly you have got 300 minutes, I will always treat that 300 minutes as -300 minutes, because that is a liability for me. I have to give that 300 minutes to you as a company. So that 300 minutes is always a liability, and that's where we always treat whatever belongs to customer as negative and whatever belongs to company as positive. So if I have to collect 50 rupees from you, I will always mark that 50 rupees as positive, and if I have to refund 50 rupees to you, I will mark that as negative. So -48 means you still have you have a 48 SMS still left in your counter for that particular month, and then you reach towards your bill cycle, which is whatever is your bill cycle. Say 10th of the month is your bill cycle. So now you reach towards that. So what will happen on 10th 00 hours, your 48 SMS counter will remain as it is, and that counter will be closed. The amount will be minus 48, but that counter will be closed. So no more charges will go to that particular counter. But on 10th 00 hours, you will have a new bill. That is your orange bill that you see, the next pending bill. So that next bill will be open, and then you will get a new counter of 50. That new counter will be minus 50, and any SMS usage that comes after 00 hours of 10th, that will be rated from that particular counter which is in orange. So that whatever is your accounting cycle, so if it was from 10th to 10th, so from 10th 00 hours to next 10th 00 hours will be rated from current bill cycle. Anything which is after that will be rated from the next bill cycle. And supposedly there was a SMS usage that came through on 10th morning 8 AM, but that SMS usage was done on 9th night 11:59. Okay, so you understood the scenario. At 00 hours you had your billing, and but there was a usage before that billing which came next morning. So that particular usage which came at 8 o'clock, even after the entitlements are refreshed, since your previous month entitlements are still open, your close billing is not done, then it will be rated from the previous entitlement. And that's where we keep this bill open for 24 hours, so that any late usage that comes in, that doesn't get rejected and we don't lose out on revenue, because that plan which was purchased on 00 hours of 10th, if you want to rate anything from that particular plan, the start T of that event should be after 00 hours. If you want to rate anything which has a start T prior to 10th 00 hours, it will say resource not valid in time. So it makes sense in a layman sense also. If you see, if supposedly you purchased a fridge at on 10th afternoon or 12th afternoon, you can't keep something into that fridge before you actually purchase it. In the same way, what happens with CDRs as well, if the plan was purchased at 00 hours of 12th or 10th, then in that case any usage which was from 23:59 or 23:58 9th can't be rated from that particular bucket. So that's where we just keep that previous bucket open for one day, that if there are any late usage we will rate it. In some scenarios the question might come is like, if what will happen if the usage come after 3 days or say 4 days. This is a very non-likely scenario where the usage might be that delay that it comes after 2-3 days. But yeah, I have seen scenarios, 1 or 2 cases where the usage come after maybe couple of days as well. So in that case the business is always agreed to lose out on revenue for 1 or 2 accounts or 1 or 2 CDRs. So that bit business is always ready. But mostly it is never more than 24 hours when the usage are delayed. So this is the journey of close billing. So this pre-bill report, why this is very important, because pre-bill report will give you if there are any errors in the data. So pre-bill report you can run in the afternoon as well. Okay, so you can run in the business hours or even before you are doing the billing. So when you do the pre-billing beforehand and you validate the report for pre-billing, then what happens, it will give you ample amount of time before the billing, between pre-billing and close billing, to rectify data issues or data error if there are any into the system. So supposedly your projection volume is way higher than what it was from the previous month. So previous month you billed a revenue of 1 lakh rupees, and this month the revenue straight away came down to 20,000. So this is not practically possible if you don't did not lose out on too many customers in last 1 month, and if there is no abnormality in terms of customer trend, then that much fluctuation doesn't happen. The max fluctuation is around 1 to 2% in the customer base every month. So in those scenarios, your pre-bill is a very important report that tells you how the projection trend looks like, and if because once the billing is done, your too many tables will be updated, your data will be updated, your tax details will be updated, your GST tables will be updated. So everything is updated, and then if you want to change the data or you want to fiddle around with data, you have to go and manually change the data into so many tables. And the point is, if you're not talking about 1 or 2 rows into that table, you're talking about say 500k, 1 million rows into a table, because you supposedly you have 1 million customer in one bill cycle. So with that huge amount of customer, it is very difficult to fiddle around with data if you have made a mistake in terms of billing. So pre-bill will essentially ensure that before you actually start touching the customer data or the table data into the into BRM, you can actually get a flavor of how your billing will look like, and if there are any discrepancies into the system. And once your pre-billing report looks okay, then you go and change the XML and generate the XML and see how many accounts are there. So pre-bill will give you the number of accounts and the projected volume. The second one, generate XML control file. That file will give you how many accounts are there which are actually eligible for close billing, which will be actually close billed. And if you compare both these, if these are matching, then you can say, okay, I'm good to go ahead and do the close billing now. So that's what the flow for close billing is. So same table, that table that we had, we have delay billing T. That same table will be updated by close billing as well. As I told you, the utility for close billing and open billing are same. It's just the usage, how we do the usage for that one. Based on that, it will do a close billing or the open billing. So this is the usage of that particular script, and this is how you need to use for doing the billing. So the first one is spin bill X. This is the utility name. Hyphen active, that means pick only the accounts which are active, don't bill the inactive ones, because anyhow whatever accounts are inactive, we don't want to send them an invoice. Okay, then pay type. So it might be a case that on a particular day you want to bill only those customers who pay via credit card or who pay via debit card, or so you can just specify the pay type. The next one is file hyphen file, you can give the option, and then the bill run file. So it is like you can specify the XML which can act as a filter, you can specify a YAML file which can act as a filter, or you can just pull out the list from the account from the database list of accounts, and you can pass it manually. So suppose you want to do the ad hoc billing for 5 customers, so you just instead of creating a filter and doing such tedious thing, you can just pull out those 5 customers, pull out the account numbers for them, put it in a file and pass that file. So it will do the billing for only those 5 accounts. And then hyphen retry. So supposedly if that account has failed, then you have to use it with hyphen retry, because account has failed or the invoice that was generated was not generated properly with any data errors, or there are any logical errors in that particular account, and you want to regenerate the invoice, then you can use it as hyphen retry.